I'm Carmel. This is your daily download. You can go to www.beingandbecoming.life to find out more about me and where I'm coming from. So I've just finished with a couple of conscious conversation clients back to back, and you know, I used to call my sessions therapy. I've been a hypnotherapist for many years, and you know, decade and a half. And over the last few years, hypnotherapy has become more and more of a to me. And I found that the sessions I'm having with clients are more and more about conscious conversation and an opportunity to come together to tease things out so we can explore the individual as they are, and as they are of what's emerging from them, through them, as them, with each day, with each year, with each month, with each whatever, as we emerge more and more as our true self. And over the last few years, of course, everything got very tricky to explore ourselves in the social media realm, because we had this massive uproar of censorship. And what I've noticed as I turn my sessions more into conscious conversation, that the uncensored version of self comes through, because it's a safe environment, it's a safe container where you can show up as yourself and explore who that emergence of self is at this time. Because you know, we're evolutionary creatures, aren't we? We're evolving, we're emerging more as who we are as circumstances unfold, and we're in such new terrain that we can't really know ourselves, especially if we've gone through leaps like we've become a parent, or a parent has died, or any number one of things could have happened to really substantially shift the role that you play in the world. It could be that you've had COVID, or you've emerged from life through a car accident and you nearly died, and now what's the role that you play? Or, you know, something could have given you a near-death experience. Maybe you've had a miscarriage or a stillbirth, or maybe something really shitty has happened in your life, or something really fucking amazing has happened in your life. It doesn't really matter what it is that's happened, but it's shifted the trajectory of who you are and how you show up in the world today. And so what I've noticed in conscious conversation with people that come to me, they're at a certain place in life that has done a lot of therapy, a lot of processing. It might be the recovering yogi who's realizing that I've done every single process and practice that is available through the yogic scriptures, and yet I'm still an asshole. Or I'm still showing up like this, or I still be an asshole to my partner, or I don't like who I am still, or I don't feel aligned with who I am, or I still feel edited or stuck in a box or something. When we actually show up in conscious conversation, though, in a container that's held, safe for us to be whatever rendition of self is emerging at this time, and we drop the need to practice and to process through therapy the stories and the patterns of the past, and we instead drop into where we are today and go, all right, so this is where I'm at today, and this is where I want to be. Like, for example, we could take turning life from being one of, let's just pick addictions out of the sky. So what if there's these reoccurring patterns and addictions that are happening, and those addictions, whether they're from one substance to the next, like addictions often are, it doesn't really matter what the substance is, whether it's coffee or sugar or alcohol or nicotine or I don't know, prescription drugs or whatever it might be. There's all different layers of addiction. Could be heroin, or, you know, whatever the addictive nature is, whatever the substance is, the addictive nature is the same. So what vice are you getting hung up on? Well, what if it's just a pattern and you recognize it's just a pattern that's going on, and through all the therapy and the processing and practicing that you've done in the past, you can attribute to situations where you get triggered in this environment with that person, with this pattern, and yeah, you can recognize it, but you still get stuck in your loop, and your loop still keeps going around. What happens if we just take a conversation around going, okay, so this is me, this is what I do, and what if I didn't do that anymore? What if I didn't have that structure, that pattern, that go-to, that fallback plan, and I didn't do that for say 6 months or 12 months or a year and a half, and I moved out to be that future version of me that hasn't done that pattern for that long. So we go out into that pattern and we call that version of self into now, because we recognize that past, present and future are all simultaneously happening here and now, just like the different bodies of self are all happening here and now, just like the different worlds, whether it's a 3-dimensional world or a 4-dimensional world or a 5-dimensional world or a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 25 dimension world, it doesn't matter. They're all happening here and now. We are unfolding and unfurling through past, present and future, through the multiple realms, right here and now. What if we just call our future self, our multidimensional self, into now and talk to that aspect of self and find out how they feel, how they're living, what they're up to, how they're relating, how they are existing in their now moment, here and now with me. There's a whole world of advice we can glean from there. What did you do to get there? What do you do now that you are there? What is your experience of life in this time? We don't need to go back and do therapy in the past and regurgitate and recycle the same old patterns. That just keeps us in now, in the past, now. But if we pull the future in, then that'll keep us now in the future. I would far rather be attached to my future self and the wisdom and the knowledge that is gleaned from her than regurgitating the patterns from the past that keep me repeating the past. So this is what I'm trying to say. Past, present and future all are occurring simultaneously right here and now, but we keep recreating the past by going back to the past to fix it. No therapy that I've been going to or doing is going to the future to pull the wisdom of the future in. You know, what is 2025? What is the 2025 version of me like? After all of this angst and transition that's going on now, what's the 2025 version of me doing? Yeah, I see her holding a lot of space for people who are realizing the censorship that's been going on of themselves. All right? What if you really knew how powerful you were? What if you really knew how wise and knowledgeable you were and how healthy and strong you are? What if you realized that the strength of your being is more determined on the dimensions of reality that you embrace as opposed to how you feed your physical body? Because that's just one dimension of reality, right? So I invite you to explore more than what you are, and I invite you to get to know that which you really want is that which you don't yet know, because you're not yet exploring the you that is available in the multi-dimensional holographic universe that is actually here and now, in this now moment. What if you really, really, truly accessed from your multi-dimensional self, forgetting the past self, but still integrated with the past self, bringing on more and more online, the future self. It's a juicy way to be. And it's really fun, and it's playful, and it's incredible to get that power and strength really lodged in as something that you own as who you really are. So check out beingandbecoming.life, www.beingandbecoming.life, and reach out if you'd like to explore that for yourself. Uncensored, you. I love you.